Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Tuesday night, we are here, my cupboard's going tomorrow, and tonight we are talking about prepping, would you believe? Why I wanted to talk about that is the media seems to be quite quiet just now about the reasons that I started prepping in the first place. Excuse me. I know that the inflation rate will be out tomorrow, and they are thinking, well, it went down to just above 10% or something the last time. Unless it comes down quite heftily, that's not really going to make a difference to us. The strikes don't seem to be as big a headline anymore. The budget doesn't seem to be as big a headline. The energy prices don't seem to be as big a headline. Basically, everything's gone quiet on the cost of living crisis. Hang on just till I check this. Just wanted to make sure the microphone was in properly. But yeah, it just seems to be that it seems to have gone all quiet. And the thing is, it's not quiet. People are still struggling with their energy bills. They're going to be struggling even more in March when the government help changes. People are still on strike, trying desperately hard to get wages that give them a reasonable standard of living instead of the minimum. And I just read an article on a food bank in Canterbury. I think it was The Guardian I read it. And they are really starting to struggle. And the people who used to put stuff in the supermarkets, that has gone down so much. They're quite lucky that they're getting some cash donations, but it's still not nearly what they used to get. So they're struggling a bit, and why they're struggling a bit, and it just lets you see the difference, is the bag of groceries they give out, your standard bag of groceries to anyone that needs help, used to cost £24 last year. This year it costs £34. So that's a big difference when you think, I think they said the worst time is normally about December, and then it slows down in January. December they helped 1,400 people. January they're at 1,300 already. So there's so many more people going to the food banks for help, going to food initiatives for help. If you think people who we thought were doing okay 6 months ago, if they've got a variable rate mortgage, or if they're in private rented accommodation, the costs to keep a roof over their head have probably gone up exponentially. I know some people that I've spoken to, and it's just ridiculous, the price increase. I think somebody that I know in a mortgage, it's an extra £200 a month that went up the last time. They're just waiting for it to go up again. That's a hefty chunk of wages. And I want to prep more. There's reports in the papers about shops closing. I think we've got the Ford factory closing now. There's people are losing their jobs. And just in case, whether it's us or family, friends or whatever, I'd like to have a bit of a safety net. And as I say, when I was off that week from work, that not having to go to the shops was just phenomenal. I know that I've helped out friends and family with what I've had in the shelves. I know my daughter, she's 27, so she should know better. But you know yourself, you get the week before payday, Mum, can I come shopping in your house? Of course you can, baby. That's what you do. So I want to be able to keep that up as long as possible. And what I'm doing is I've got some preps like the packets. You've seen me with my chocolate biscuits. I have lots of them. But yeah, well, I don't actually have lots of chocolate biscuits now. But yeah, I've got the short-term preps where it's just that they're in the house in case I run out of a packet. But I've also got the long-term preps. I've got rice and sugar and such in Mylar bags that will keep for years. I've self-canned some meats that will keep for a while. Excuse me. Obviously buying cans, etc. They'll keep for a few years. I just want to have a basis for if anything goes wrong, God forbid, then I am not going payday to payday, because if I suddenly lose my job, then that next payday there's no money coming in. I don't want to have empty shelves. They don't need to be full of, you know, expensive items or whatever. I just need to be able to eat for hopefully a month, because by that time I would hope to have another job or have another source of income. But yeah, and I think there's a lot of us that need to be thinking that way just now. We need to be looking at the what if. And for an extra £1 to get an extra packet of pasta, an extra bag of sugar on a shop, I think it's worth just having some extras. So that is my thought for the day, because as I say, I'm getting my cupboards up tomorrow, so I will be looking at what I've got, looking at what I want more of, looking at what I need, looking at what the family goes through, looking at what I go through, and then I'm going to try and start prepping again more, because I prepped a lot when I started. I got a lot of stuff. Some of it is still valid, obviously, for a few years, especially the tins. Other stuff, not so much. So it'll get given away to friends, family, etc. But I need to start replenishing it, because, you know, I'm not getting any younger. I need to make sure that I've got my wee safety net. So there you go. That's my thought for today. So now, as usual, I shall go make a cup of tea, and I'll catch you later.